Negotiation is important in procurement because it's sort of a discussion that is aimed at reaching an agreement. And usually that agreement can result into a contract or something of that nature. You see, as a buying organization, you will discuss with suppliers how to gain the best value from the product or service they supply. In negotiation, you therefore have to be clear about your objectives, manage your behavior, use your skills and training to achieve the best deal, behave with the highest ethical standards, and implement what you have committed to. It is also important to ensure that the negotiation itself is well planned, okay? And things are clear. Now remember, the principles of negotiation remain very much the same, whether it be a single phone call with a supplier for low-cost items or an international meeting with many supply chain partners to provide a multi-location project. The question then becomes, who's supposed to negotiate on behalf of your organization? Would you rather do it as an individual, or would you have a team as part of it? Well, there are many factors to consider when you're deciding between a team or an individual, and that's what you're going to look at. If you're new to this channel, welcome to Zerite Network, and kindly do subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified each time we put out a new video, be it in business, finance, issues to do with procurement, legal aspects. I mean, there are a lot of videos. So kindly do subscribe and hit that notification bell. Well, if you're not new, make sure you give this video one of those thumbs up to, help with engagement. Now let's talk about negotiation. Now, negotiation can be conducted by an individual, small group, a number of people. It kind of just comes down to what is at risk, okay? What is at stake. The higher the value or risk associated with a project or a business, the more likely it is that a broad base of expertise will be needed. This could be in the negotiation itself or behind the scenes, and so this means conducting team negotiation. Now, this is not to say that you're supposed to underestimate the power of, say, individual negotiator, okay? An individual negotiator is still just as powerful. It kind of just depends on the context. An organization may not have time or business resources for a large team. Again, you have to remember that at times, in fact, most of the time, organizations will just do the phone call to suppliers, and that's pretty much how they negotiate, okay? It could be a phone call, it could be a conference call, whatever it is. And most of these things are just as effective if you're good at it. And these where individuals, actually negotiators, are going to be involved. So the thing about these, okay, the advantages that can be derived from an individual negotiating versus a team. Remember, we are sort of trying to figure out who's going to negotiate. Is it a team? Is it an individual? And it kind of just comes down to the advantages accrued by whichever party, okay? The advantages that are associated with negotiating as an individual, as well as the advantages that are associated with negotiating as a team. So the benefits derived from negotiating as an individual will include things like speed, flexibility, informality, if need be. I mean, one-on-one negotiation. Obviously, there's going to be, you could negotiate, the relationship could end up moving from an extremely formal negotiation to some informal where you just talk, okay? And you still end up arriving at the decision that you wanted. Quicker relationship building, as well as building trust. Well, that's individual. We still have the question of, what about a team? When would it be good to negotiate using a team? Well, there are scenarios where a team would make more sense in negotiation. As we pointed out earlier, it kind of just comes down to the risk involved. So when we have situations like complex negotiations that require diverse knowledge, negotiations with great potential for creativity and value creation, negotiation with multiple constituents who all have a stake in the outcome, international context in which team negotiations are the norm, as well as negotiations in which there is sufficient time to coordinate a team approach. In those setups, okay, in those kind of scenarios, then a team would make more sense. I mean, again, look, whichever one you use, if you don't have the money to finance an entire team, you don't have the time, then you better have a good negotiator, okay? On the other hand, if you have a team that can handle that, then let the team handle it. And again, remember, here's what I'm saying. While you could be negotiating with an individual, okay, one-on-one, it doesn't really mean that a team is not involved. You could still have a team working behind the scenes, okay? Maybe there are people who did research, It's not necessarily just one person showing up and then talking, and then, I mean, that could be the case. But then sometimes you have team negotiation, and yet you only dealt with one person. So look, if there is any question, do let me know. I'm Moses from Zerite Network, and I'll see you in the next video.